What's going on, Facebook family? What's going on, Knoxville, the world? This is Reggie Jenkins, Executive Director of UUNIK Academy. This evening, I'm going to talk about, who is UUNIK Academy, what's our history, what we do, um, what's our purpose, mission, and where we're going in the future. I'm just trying to give a few more minutes to get some people on this Facebook Live post. So, um, what's going on, Miss McClendon? I see you. I see you. Sandra Mann, Nasheed, what's Rasul, Mr. Armstrong, what's going on, family? UUNIK was founded in 2003 in Knoxville, Tennessee. In September, it'll be our 17th year. Our mission is to assist in the holistic development of our youth in the Knoxville community in order to produce responsible adults. We have various programming that we do throughout the year. We'll get into that in a little bit. But first of all, what I want to do first and foremost is give some shout outs to people who support UUNIK Academy and been there and riding with me. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my wife, Kamisha, my son, Jabari, who always been riding with me since my wife especially has been riding with me since UUNIK's inception. Stephanie Warren, methodology marketing. She's my social media person. She does a great job. I hooked up with Stephanie last fall, and she's been taking us to another level. I'll give a shout out to my UUNIK board, uh, Mark Almond, Mike Dorsey. We have Pastor Sidney Davis, who jumped on in 2020. Attorney Janae Easterly, she's new to the board. And Tabase, Burns, and Goldie Littlejohn. I have a great board that support me. I got a couple of advisors I need to give a shout out to, Annette Long and Miss Donna Worthy. So, I'm going to give a shout out to them. Also, I want to shout out to all my partners. UUNIK Academy is a true example of collaboration. What we do is not just one entity, it's many entities that we support and they support us in return. So I gave a shout out to all our partners out there. I give a shout out to our donors. We have donors from across the country that support this initiative. My supporters, my UUNIK parents, past and present parents I've worked with. UUNIK Academy has worked with over 4,000 children since its inception. Last year in 2019, we worked with 850 young people. 90% of the kids that we work with and that stay with our program graduate, and some of them go to higher ed, college, and therefore we have various programs. What's going on, Michael Rogers? Shout out to some people, Jeffrey Lancaster Senior, excuse me. Reese, what's going on? Yolanda. Again, this is Reggie Jenkins with UUNIK Academy. Just giving you a little bit background of what we do and who we are. Some of you all see some of the work we do, but you don't have a in-depth understanding and knowledge of what we do. So let's go over our programs that we do annually. First and foremost, we do a Calling All Male Youth Conference. Calling All Males started in 2006, and just mostly boys. We work with over 600 boys for that one-day conference. And in that conference, what we do, our target audience is young people between the ages of 5 and 15. And what we do in there, we match up the young people with professional men in the community, and they do various workshops that deals with topics such as financial literacy, fitness. We do a STEM part. We do a historical part. Some of our past workshops have been law enforcement, knowing your rights. So we have at least 30 young people to participate in that particular event, and that's always in January. The next event that we do is our ACT prep. We do one in the fall and in the spring. In the spring is 4 Saturdays, which I'm about to start my spring session this Saturday, February 29th. And in the fall, we do 5 Saturdays. And in the fall, we do additional Saturday because we do a college prep workshop with our parents, talk about the FAFSA, scholarships, college admissions. We bring students from UT to talk to the young people. And the ACT prep is a collaboration between UUNIK Academy, the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta, Knoxville Alumni Chapter, SunTrust, First Tennessee, We partnership with the Beck in the past and Vine Middle School. And this last year we partnered with the Urban League to pull off that college prep session. But like I said, the ACT prep, and we target students, and that's open to all students from East Tennessee. We have students from Jefferson County. We have students from Clinton, Powell, Oak Ridge, Knoxville, Maryville, Alcoa that come to our class. We average about 30 students per class, and we target 8th through 11th grade. About 60% of our students are 8th, ninth, and 10th graders, and we want to prepare them early. Most of the time in ACT, they tell you to take the ACT or prepare in 11th grade. I believe that's too late. I think, and that's not to say kids can't be ready at that age, but we want to prepare them earlier, even if they haven't taken the subject matter in the 8th or ninth or 10th grade. We want to prepare them early because college is too expensive nowadays. The loan debt is approaching $2 trillion. We don't want to bankrupt our children's future, so we want to prepare them not only with getting a high score, but being ready for college as well. So we do that. Also, we have STEAMY Summer Institute. Now, STEAMY stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Math, Innovation, and that's catered to African American boys between the ages of 5 and 10. We average about 20 young males every summer, and that's a 7-week long program that's from 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. And STEAMY serves several purposes. One is one is we want to strengthen our children's academic foundation. In East Tennessee, and pretty much in Tennessee in general, African American young people are suffering in school. I know locally, uh, Black youth between the grades of 3rd and 8th grade are not on par on reading and math. And so we find that the summer times is when a lot of kids either they get behind or those who are on course get further behind. So we want to provide them an avenue to strengthen their foundation academically. We deal with phonetic skills, reading, math skills, writing, because writing is not emphasized in school nowadays. We also deal with geography. I even teach my young people, especially my 5, 6, 7, 8 year olds, ACT words. We get them ready, college prep. We also, another purpose is to introduce them to the world of STEM. We bring in engineers and various people to come in and do projects with them. One of our annual trips is going to Oak Ridge National Laboratory. Shout out to Candace Harvard, who's a chemist out there. She does a tour to get our children ready just to introduce them to the world of STEM early. Oftentimes, a lot of our kids don't go to schools that have STEM curriculum in there, so we try to provide that for our children. And also, STEAMY allows the children to be taught by Black males. All the teachers in our STEAMY course every summer is Black males. It's me, Devontae Sales of New ID. We have another young man coming on board, and we have 2 teenagers who assist to become system counselors. And so we average about 20 young people, again, between the ages of 5 and 10 in our STEAMY Summer Institute. We'll start enrolling that probably in March for this year. So be looking out for that information. Another program that we do is a college and career fair. That's at Vine Middle School. Shout out to Vine and all my people in Vine Middle School on MLK. We've been doing that since 2006. No, 2009. We've been doing that since 2009. So this would make our 11th year at Vine. And what we do there is we have the whole school, and we partner with the Links, Great Schools Partnership, and as well as Project Grad. Shout out to Project Grad and all my sponsors. And what we do is we bring in various vendors in from various fields, utility company, banks, fire department, police department, Denso, who usually bring a little robot that the kids can play against. We bring political figures, high schools, and we want to expose our kids to various careers at an early age. A lot of our young people only have certain things that they dream to do and don't open themselves to other possibilities. So that's why we do the college and career fair. And the last thing we do is we have a community appreciation reception that's held every December. And that's just our way of saying thank you for all the support throughout the year. And so we have that every year. So that's all the programming that we do. Last year, we worked with 850 young people in Knox County through our various programs. Now, what I forgot to mention, and shout out to all the people who tuned in with me, what I forgot to mention is what UNIK stands for. Very few people ask me what UNIK stands for. So UNIK is an acronym, UUNIK, and it's five of the seven principles of Kwanzaa. The first U is Umoja, which means unity. The second U is Ujamaa. It means cooperative economics. The N means Nia, which means purpose. The I is money, which is faith, and the K is Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. And that's what we want to instill in our young people, those principles through our various workshops. Now, our vision, one of our visions is to become a full-time institution dedicated to the holistic development of our youth. We want to, right now in 2020, our mission is to get a building. And I see Tabase on that, so she's one of my main cheerleaders. So we want to get a building, and we want to service our kids. We want to teach our kids, year round, and we have a facility where they can be taught and they can feel good about who they are. Of course, in schools, we all know that there are not a lot of Black men teaching, especially in the elementary age. There are a few, but there are not a lot of them. And then the curriculum is not an African-centered base. A lot of our kids are not understanding who they are. A lot of kids, they excel academically, but they still like a ship without rudder, and they don't know who they are as far as their culture and self-esteem. And one of the beautiful things that I love about STEAMing in all our programs, particularly STEAMing, is that you get 20 young boys fellowshipping, loving one another, respecting one another in a 7-week course. And they don't get in where we live in East Tennessee. A lot of our young people go to school and they may see less than a handful of themselves. They may be the only one in their class. So we want to provide an incubator, a cultural incubator for our children. And so, we want them to love themselves and go out in the world and thrive. There's been studies that show that when children are brought up in their own culture and their own heritage, they thrive academically, they thrive professionally, they thrive as men and men and women. So we want to provide that for our children. Throw out some stats that I'm proud of, like when we was talking about STEAMing. Last year we worked with our kids, and we do a pre-assessment for our STEAMing youth and a post-assessment. And after the post-assessment, we saw a 40% increase in our children's math skills, a 40% increase in the grammar, a 50% increase in the spelling, and a 35% increase in the writing amongst our skill. Our ACT prep, we started our ACT prep about 5 years ago, and we worked with over 500 kids in that. But what we saw, our averages go up. Our mean average score went from a 16 to a 19 in 2018 to a 22. So our ACT is the national average is 21. That means 50% of the kids in America doesn't score above 21. And there's over 2 million kids that take the ACT. So we want to provide, our children some strategies to score at least a 25 or better. Now, you see a lot of people talking about getting a perfect score, but out of 2 million kids, less than 10% of them get above a 30. I'm not saying that's not attainable, but that's not realistic for most of our children, especially when they're not being prepped early. A lot of our kids wait 11th and 12th grade and they're scrambling to get their scores up. A lot of our young males who are athletically inclined and gifted, but because they haven't been prepped early, they scrambling. They 11th grade, 12th senior year trying to get the ACT scores up to get into these particular universities to get scholarships. And there's a lot of money out there on the table. We leave because we don't prep our children early. So that's one of the things we are proud of as far as our ACT. We have had our UNIK volunteers have served over 2,700 hours in 2019. I'm proud of, like I said, I am not an island. It's a village thing. I have a lot of great support and group people who protected me over the years and watch my back when I'm not even knowing they watching my back and they support the volunteers, my board, the strong board, my family. Again, this is just a Unique Academy one-on-one introduction, just to introduce to you who we are, what we do, and what we're future. Want a building to work with the kids locally, but my Steamy Summer Institute is something that I want to take from Knoxville and go across the state with, because we're developing a curriculum. It's crucial that we train our own children. And of course, like I said, our children are so busy throughout the year that the only time I could grab, those 20 young males is in the summertime, whatever. So, but it's a beautiful experience. And we want to train other people to do what we're doing. We have to duplicate. Nonprofits have to get to the point where the way of duplicating what they do. It can't be just Reggie doing it. Even in like my ACT prep, I got a young lady who I know in another year she's going to be teaching my classes, because eventually what I want to do my ACT prep is have just young people teaching instead of grown teachers and all that stuff. I got kids who are talented enough to teach their class. One of my star students, Delaney Jackson, she's eighth grader. She started with me when she was in the seventh grade. This young lady in the seventh grade scored a 17 on ACT. So I got to give it up for people to understand. There's seniors in high school that don't score a 17, and she scored a 17. And this young lady read over 100 books last year. So she is awesome. And she's just an example of what all our kids can do. I just have a vision of all our children being geniuses. It's great that we have a lot of children who excel in athletically, but we don't have enough engineers. We don't have enough doctors. We don't even have enough plumbers. We don't have enough electricians. We don't have, these fields are wide open, and we're not training. Computer programming is big. Coding. We need to train our children coding. And we got to stop waiting on other folks to do that what we can do for ourselves. So that's, like I said, that's really what UUNIK mission is. So what I'm gonna do right now, been running my mouth. If there's any questions, you can post them in the chat room and I will answer them. Otherwise, let me look at my chat room. Let me say, what's up, Terrence? What's up, Nima, Annette, Darrow, Mike Fox, man, how you doing, brother? Mary, who else? I got George, Joseph. Let me see, Renee McClure, Delta Sigma Theta. I see Tabase. I always got Tabase going on. Anybody else? Any questions? If I got any questions for me, this is the time to ask. Also, people go to my website. You see UUNIK Academy across the thing. So just Google UUNIK and my website come up. Check out our website. Got a website done. Shout out to Stephanie again for helping me get that new website up. Oh, I forgot to tell you all, for grown folks, one of our fundraisers is Grooves in the Garden. Every third Saturday in July, we have this outdoor festival where we bring a band in. We get the Knoxville Botanical Gardens. This year is July 18th. Mark your calendars, July 18th. We have a live band, just a few cats, and we got Knoxville's own Brian Clay is going to open up Jaspirations, and it's a grown folks event. We block the streets off. We have food vendors. We have retail vendors. We have all that, and it's a fundraiser for not only for UUNIK Academy, but for the men of Phi Beta Sigma. It's a joint collaborative effort. We invite people out. It's from 5 to 10, and it's a great time because in Knoxville, a lot of people have to travel to Nashville, Atlanta, or Chat to have that kind of live experience. And so we want to bring that here as well as fundraise. So mark your calendars, Grooves in the Garden, 2020 edition, July 18th from 5 to 10. You can go to the website, UUNIK Academy, to find out any more information. We have on our website, we have an event page that if any event you want, you just hit it. You hit RSVP, you leave your email, we'll get in contact you. The tickets will be going on sale probably sometime in April, but be looking out for that. Also, if you're looking for any other activities, you got a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, and you're looking for something for him to do this summer, go to our website and hit Steamy Summer Institute, ACT Prep. We already booked for our spring. People still call me for the spring, but we're already booked. We got our students. But the fall enrollment will start August 8th. Sign up for our newsletter so you can go to our website. What's going on, mother-in-law? My mother-in-law Kat is out there. Erica, one of my esteemed parents, is out there. So we have a good reputation. I work with a lot of kids. Love my children. My son is in all. Anything I do, my son has been involved in since he's been born. He's about to turn 7 in a few months, so he's been with me all the time. So again, Unique Academy is a nonprofit organization, 501c3. We've been 501c3 since 2005. We work with over 4,000 youth in the Knoxville area. Okay. So let me see. I got a question here about uh, uh, a prison school to prison pipeline and how Unique Academy is dedicated to stop as many kids from getting to the system. Well, let's talk about it. Again, there's the stat that the Tennessee Department of Education releases a report card on every school in every county in the state of Tennessee. And in Knox County, Black students between the grades of third and eighth grade are not proficient in math, reading, and even science. They're below level. There's a known fact that Black boys, if they're not reading at a certain age by third grade, the chances are graduating are slim. And if the chances are them graduating slim, the only thing alternative a lot of them turn is to the streets, and you know what that leads to: prison. That school to prison pipeline is real. We realized and recognized years ago that if you want to save our children, you got to start young. Got to start young. I even had them as young as 4 years old in my program. They potty train, I'll take them, and because we want to strengthen them and build that confidence. You see, what happens is between 0 and 6, your children are like sponges. So whatever environment they're raised in, that's what they're gonna be. If they raised in an environment of love, nurturing, confidence, that kind of thing, discipline, they will become that. If they raised in a violent of chaos, violence, that kind of stuff, they're gonna manifest that as well. And because we don't have, a lot of our school systems are not a very nurturing place for Black boys. They start putting boys in these special classes and all that stuff very early. And what I found out that a lot of those boys ain't special needs. It's just a lot of those boys can't read. It's nothing wrong with them mentally. They have some emotional issues. We all do. But their ability is you teach them how to read and teach them how to think and build themselves up and love them and tell them how special they are. They will manifest like beautiful young men that they should be. So you deal with the greatness on that. So and it's imperative that we jump early. Years ago, Unique Academy used to deal with just middle school and high school. Even when I started my STEAMY Summer Institute, I just dealt with middle school and high school. But what I found out, it was too hard to try to catch up a ninth grader who couldn't do math or who was reading on a fourth grade level. It was just too difficult. I would have to have him, all year round, and I didn't have the means to do that. So what we did was we went from middle school and high school back down to the elementary school. And then another factor that plays a heavy role in our kids is, a lot of our kids in high school, and they're so busy that they don't focus on academics. I lost a lot of young people because of, extracurricular activities that just dominate. When I was in high school, I ran track and played basketball, but I still had time to work. I had time to do other things as well as do my academics. But now, one sport is year round. Even in my ACT, I see it. 2 years ago, I took a group of football players, 7 football players from the local high school, and they took my ACT course in the fall. And that was a bad decision on my part because it was unfair to them because they practice 3 days a week. They have a game on Friday. Then they got to be up at 9 o'clock in the morning in my class for 4 or 5 weeks. And then they had to take the ACT at 8 o'clock in the morning. And they just weren't mentally there. And so I would never make that mistake again. Now I have one who can handle that workload, but 1 out of 7 is not good odds. And so, but the kids is they just busy year round. So we got to, for me, my program, we got to jump early. And I would encourage you parents to also make some sacrifices to where, they have to have time to prep for the ACT. They have to have time to prep for college. ACT is not like high school English or high school whatever, math or whatever. It's a different ball of wax. Yes, they test with a lot of those things, but at certain speed, a lot of kids don't finish the test and that kind of thing. So we have to, we have to be cognizant of that, and we have to donate a certain amount of time for our children to excel academically. They behind excel because their legs may give out one day, they arm, they throwing ability, shooting ability good, but their brain ain't going nowhere. And so we gotta have a balance of the physical, but also the mental and the spiritual and emotional. We want to balance. It's about holistically feeding our children. So, but yeah, let me see. I got Kim. She's one of my ACT parents. I see you. Sakara Jones. What's up, bruh? Sharita Bradley Harris. Thank you for joining us. Jane Lawrence. So that's pretty much it. I just want to just come on here and just give you a brief synopsis of what Unique Academy is and what we're doing and how we're trying to serve our community. So just please support us. Go to our face, support our Facebook page. Go to our website. Please donate. Please become a monthly donor. $5 or $10, $15 a month. I have $15 donors out there who just give. I have people who donate a piece of portion of their paycheck every pay period, and their company matches it. We're fiscally responsible with our money. Good cause. This is the cause. A lot of our money comes from regular folks. We don't get a lot of grant money and stuff like that. We've been doing well in the past couple of years. Shout out to Rick Staples. Shout out to William McKenzie, two local politicians who support Unique Academy thoroughly. Love them to death. But most of our stuff comes from people like yourself. So, just keep supporting us, and I'll keep serving our youth so we can go forward and do bigger and better things. You all have a great evening. Talk to you soon.